Hey guys, welcome back to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath Holland, and this is one of those collection update episodes. I've had a stack of things hit my mailbox. New releases, physical media, Blu-rays, some music too, some vinyl. We're going to talk about a few new vinyl releases. But these have been arriving in the last few weeks, and I wanted to, rather than tackle them individually, which time just doesn't really allow anymore, to cover as many releases as possible in one of these probably shorter videos. I don't have a ton to say about some of this stuff, but I do have a lot to say about the first thing we're going to talk about, which is the Linguini incident on Blu-ray. Now, some of you guys may know what this movie is, but it is an underground cult classic. This is one of those movies that's really flown under the radar in the modern mainstream streaming digital whatever era we're living in. If you're of the VHS era, my age, maybe older, you might have seen this or even checked this out at your local video store. But it is from the director Richard Shepard, who a lot of younger viewers may know from The Matador, the Pierce Brosnan movie. But it's David Bowie. It's Rosanna Arquette. It's a tremendous cult classic, and this is the director's vision. The version presented back in 1991 was not the director's version of the movie. It was taken away from him. That story is told in the audio commentary. Well, there's two audio commentaries. One of them that I moderated. So I'm on this release. I wanted to talk about this. We've got one commentary with the director, Richard Shepard. Another commentary with director Richard Shepard, actors Rosanna Arquette and Esther Balance, co-producer Sarah Jackson, and co-screenwriter Tamar Bratz, moderated by Heath Holland. So that was a tremendous thrill. I'm going to give you guys a peek behind the scenes here now that this is out and I can talk about it. The job of a moderator in a commentary is to steer whenever necessary and represent the audience to get the stories that we want to know. How did you get David Bowie in your movie in 1991? Small independent production. How did you get the biggest rock star of all time, right? It's to steer, to make sure that we are represented as an audience and that the stories that we want to be told are told. These guys had not been in the same room. They had a virtual room. They had not been in a conversation together since they made the movie in 1991. So this was the first time back together in over 30 years. And they just started to tell stories. And so I had to do very little of the thing I'm talking about. I had extensive notes about these are what people want to know. And they hit everything that was on my list, organically, naturally. And some of this stuff is really surprising. There's some dirt in this commentary. So I'm tremendously pleased to be involved with this release. This is one of the highest profile things I have been involved with to date. And I just wanted you guys to know about it. So this is the Linguini incident. It is from MVD. It's part of the Marquee collection. And by the way, it does have, we have the reversible art wrap here. It has extensive special features. I wanted to show you guys there's a feature-length documentary. Hold on, let me back that up, freeze that, so you can read everything, because I'm about to take it away. But there's a ton of stuff here. Feature link with like so many people that were involved with it. They really pulled out all the stops for the Linguini incident, and I'm so happy that they did. From Film Masters, this month's hotness, you guys know, because we talked to Film Masters at the beginning of when they launched. I did a Film Masters interview. And the founder of the company kind of told us what to expect. And here we are, month after month after month, Film Masters just keeps cranking out bangers. They just keep doing incredible work. So this is the latest release from Film Masters. This is the Crippled Masters, and it's got it's newly restored from 35mm sources. It's got all the stuff that we associate these Film Masters releases to include. We got a full commentary track with Will Sloan and Justin Declos of the Important Cinema Club. I know people that watch this channel. There's a few, some of them have told me how much they enjoy the Important Cinema Club. Kings of Kung Fu, releasing the Legends. That's a documentary from Ballyhoo Motion Pictures. That's Daniel Griffith, friend of Cereal at Midnight. He's been here multiple times. Original 1982 trailer and a 2024 recut trailer using restored film elements. We've got liner notes and a full color booklet by Lawrence Carter Long. I'm just reading to you guys again. Let me hold that up and you can freeze that and you can read everything yourself. But I just continue to be really impressed with what Film Masters is doing. These booklets, you guys know I love booklets. I love written materials for my movies. I prefer written materials over video essays because I like to I feel like I internalize the information more, but maybe that's the researcher in me. Maybe that's the the history guy in me. Anyway, so this is the Cripple Masters, and another great success from Film Masters. This comes from Eureka. You know, Eureka has been releasing films in both Region A and Region B. This is the Double Crossers. Now, I don't have a whole lot to say about some of this stuff because I just haven't had a chance to catch up with it yet. That's not the point of these videos. The point of these videos is to show you what's coming out, right? This has a ton of stuff here. We've got, well, at the risk of just reading to you guys, let me flip this around, let you see all of that for yourself. A special appearance by Sammo Hung. Does this have her? Yes. We flip the, ooh. I'm actually seeing this for the first time. This reversible art wrap here. I like that. Okay, we have a booklet here as well. Let's see. Okay, so the Double Crossers from Eureka, now on Blu-ray. We have a couple of new Radiance titles. I told you guys I was going to go quick. I'm not even sure I want to try to pronounce some of these. I'm going to try it. Chowpenton? Hopefully I did that right. This is, I'm looking for all the pertinent information. It is the US and the UK Blu-ray premiere. You know, I also talked to Radiance as well. I talked to Fran Simeone before the launch of Radiance. We have the full scoop on what's going on with Radiance. Is this going to show up for you guys? Let's see here. I'll try. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Sometimes I worry that some of this text doesn't show up on camera. We do have a reversible art wrap. I'm not going, you know, these OB strips come away. I'm not going to move that because I want to get it back in here timely and efficiently. But there's the reversible, the other side of the art wrap, and I'm going to show you the booklets here. Radiance always brings the scholarship, the more academic, if I dare say, the Criterion level effects, not effects, treatment. That's the word I was looking for. To movies that nobody seems to really be paying a whole lot of attention to, or they seem to have slipped under the radar. And there's another one. We also have 18 Years in Prison from Radiance. This is in Japanese. This is these are limited to 3,000 units, by the way. I believe this. Yeah, limited edition, 3,000 copies. This is the cover. There's the back. You know what? Rather than take it out, I'm going to do this. That's the reversible art wrap. Really great stuff for movie fans and Radiance completists. Let me get these ready. These are of a piece from 88 Films. We've already gotten the first two single releases of the In the Line of Duty. In the last video when we talked about parts 1 and 2, I called them the Call of Duty. It's In the Line of Duty films. There is a box set for the In the Line of Duty films. I did a dedicated video review for that box set. Films 1 and 2 got an individual release. Now films 3 and 4 have an individual release. So everything that was in that box set is now available individually. I will reference you to my dedicated review for more information about that. Some oddities here that really definitely will be flying under the radar if not for coverage like this. There's a new Todd Rundgren Blu-ray. This is the second Todd Rundgren live release in the last 12 months, I believe. This is Liars Live, and it's from Cleopatra. I think the last release was also from Cleopatra. And here's the track list. This is the set list for this live performance. Todd Rundgren, truly always an iconoclast, doing things his way. I have a tremendous respect for him. Titanic The Musical. I'm not even sure I knew this existed, but now you have the option to have this on Blu-ray. Winner of 5 Tony Awards. That shows how far outside of the musical realm that I'm at. This has incredibly high praise, and now you can own it on Blu-ray. This is MVD Visual in association with Liberator, Torrento Productions, and Stage 2 View. There are no special features, but if you want to own Titanic the Musical, now you can on Blu-ray. And then this is the last movie we're going to talk about. This is Journey from the Fall. This is about, inspired by the true stories of Vietnam refugees. Here's the back of the box if you want to read all of that. The most important thing here to note is this is the first time I've seen this label, Whole Grain Pictures. I'm not aware of Whole Grain Pictures before this release, and it's interesting how they have done this, like nutrition facts. Like they're really leaning into the food thing there. Serving size: 1 Blu-ray and 1 CD. Audio: Vietnamese, Spanish, subtitles English. That's interesting. I mean, look, when everybody's trying to find an angle, right? Everybody's trying to find an approach that feels unique and memorable. I've never seen that before. So as you saw, it's got the film on Blu-ray, and it has the soundtrack on CD, and it does have a reversible art wrap. But on the other side, instead of this panel, it's the track listing for the CD. So that's what you need to know about that film and Whole Grain Pictures. Let's talk about some music really quick. I've tried to do music coverage separately in the past. I'm going to throw them in this video and see how this does, because I know a lot of you guys, I don't just watch movies. I listen to music. Like, I'm as much of a music collector as I am a movie collector, and there has never been a better time for both of these things than right now. From Bear Family Records, hopefully you guys saw my interview with the CEO of Bear Family Records. They have continued to put out some really cool releases. This is Bob Wills. Ida Red Likes the Boogie. Bob Wills. This is essentially some of the best and most notable Bob Wills tracks. Now, if you know, this is deep, like boogie country roots music. If you've seen Ken Burns' History of Country Music, then you know Bob Wills, because there's a nice little section about Bob Wills. He was incredibly influential, and here's 30 tracks on CD. But most importantly, Bear Family always gives you the context, because context is really the key for this music, and it gives these booklets are I mean, look at this, absolutely incredible. So the story of Bob Wills, track by track listing, everything you need to know. I will leave this with a aha. If you know Bob Wills, you know what that means. On the Dance Floor with Jack Hammer. So there's a whole series of On the Dance Floor releases. They did one for Dion. Now we have one for Jack Hammer, who this collection picks up in the 1956, I believe. Yeah. And we go through 1966. So about a decade in the career of Jack Hammer. If you know his history, his association with maybe Great Balls of Fire, this is deep roots rock, early rock. When you really, the thing about this kind of music is when you look back at the history of popular music in the 1955, 1956, you see country and blues and rock and roll and soul, like all these different things, R&B, they all arrive at this crossroads, and really the only difference is like a slight difference in presentation. The music is essentially the same. That's one thing this is Bear Family. They've really been highlighting on a couple of their recent releases, where they'll have beat groups covering country, or they'll have country versions of beat songs, like R&B songs. It's such a thin line, right? So again, you have the entire history that you need to know and all the track lists. The Bear Family, like, nobody does it better. To quote the James Bond theme song, nobody does it better. This is the last CD. They're going to do some vinyl. This is the Human League. This is a brand new live package from the Human League. It is 2 CDs and then a DVD. And it's got, you know what, if there's any Human League fans out there, I'm going to hold this up so you can see the track list. The most notable songs here are Don't You Want Me, Human, Mirror Man, and fascination. So I'm excited. Mine's still sealed because I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but I'm excited about checking it out. From Acrobat Music, they've been doing, we've talked about this before, especially in the music episodes, they've been doing these really affordable vinyl reissues of some deep 50s, pre-1962 music, and these have just arrived. So this is Johnny Bernett, Tear It Up. This is the rockabilly years. If you know Johnny Bernett, and I don't want to assume that everybody does, because you might have showed up for the Blu-ray stuff, and you're like, who's Johnny Bernett? Okay, he was the rockabilly guy in the 1950s with his trio who did Tear It Up. He did the Lonesome Train on a Lonesome Track is a huge one, but he also did The Train Kept A-Rollin', which of course, the Yardbirds did Train Kept A-Rollin', Aerosmith did Train Kept A-Rollin'. Well, it's a Johnny Bernett track, and it is really wild, especially the subject matter of that song. It's not about a train. It's good stuff. And then Johnny Bernett, and after the American Pie incident, after the day the music died, when rock and roll, like Elvis is in the army, Buddy Holly's dead, the Big Bopper, he goes into like crooner, it's just like bubblegum teeny bopper music, just to stay alive, just to stay relevant in the scene, right? And so this is the stuff a lot of us love. The Flamingos, I Only Have Eyes for You. That's one of my favorite songs. That's a top 5 song for me. I Only Have Eyes for You is haunting for me. I think that's one of the most spooky. That song shows up in horror movies. That song shows up in the Wonder Years. That song is incredibly versatile because it is truly a haunting song. I think I'm going to flip these around and show you the back so you can see the track list. Here's the Johnny Bernett record. You can see all the liner notes. I'm going to pass this up real quick here. All right, here is the Flamingos, Only Have Eyes for You. All right. I don't know how well that translates to camera or not. Hank, guys, if you saw my video where I go to Hank Williams' gravesite, the Hank Williams Museum, but most importantly, the Hank Williams gravesite. It's a very short video. I think it's just a few minutes long. But I wanted to take you with me as I paid my respects to one of the founders of popular music as we know it. This is a Hank Williams collection. Again, the history of Hank Williams and all of his music and some of his hits. It was just, you could have 5 discs of Hank Williams tracks because they're also such a big deal. I mean, he's one of the best-selling recording artists of his day. The Sons of the Pioneers. Now, this is something that a year ago, I don't even know if I would have been ready for. But this is, you think about all those old cowboy B movies that I like so much now. My midlife crisis movies. Gene Autry and Roy Rogers. Sons of the Pioneers come from that era. They come from the 1930s. They sing the songs that so many of those movies had, like Tumble and Tumbleweeds, which is one of my favorites by the Sons of the Pioneers. So, sort of, again, not necessarily country, but definitely sort of a country swing or it's just American roots music is what it is. Les Paul, Mary Ford, another from Acrobat. Les Paul, of course, we know for the guitar, but also making the guitar, but also for playing it incredibly well. And these are some really important and good tracks. And I'm ending here with my favorite thing. Started with the Linguini incident, which is a personal favorite to have been involved with, and I'm ending with my favorite record from this batch. This is the Holiday Inn label 100 series anthology, Slapback. This is an anthology spotlighting the Holiday Inn Records label. Now, if you didn't know Holiday Inn had a record label, oh yes, and that's why this compilation exists. So it is from Rockstar Records. It's a vinyl record with, how many of these tracks are there? There's 18 tracks, which, let's be honest, that's kind of a lot for a record. They've already fit a lot on there. They also have this insert, which is the story of Holiday Inn Records. And it's a 4-panel insert. And then because vinyl is a limited format and you can only fit so much music on it, they have included a CD with a total of 35 tracks from the Holiday Inn label. Let me get that good and close so you can freeze that. Now, you're not going to know a lot of this stuff. This is deep mid-century roots music. It's just a collection of different genres and different styles. And there are Holiday Inn, it starts with a Holiday Inn jingle and it ends with a Holiday Inn jingle. So this is incredible. This is really, really cool. So I wanted you to know about these things. Again, this is not really supposed to be a review video. This is just it's one of the, I call them, hey, look what came out videos, because that's really all they are. And after you've seen them, you know, they're, all of these moments will be gone like tears in the rain. They're just gone, right? They're gone like a dandelion after you've seen them, because, you know, there's not a whole lot of replay value to these videos. So I try not to do them very often. I try to do a few a month. But I am really excited about some of this stuff that's really up my alley, and I wanted to pass that on to you. And let's talk about some of this stuff. If you've seen some of the movies that I haven't, or if you have opinions about some of this stuff, let's continue the conversation in the comments below. There's an Amazon link in the description of every video that I post. If you use that link, you are supporting Cereal at Midnight. I think this video may be going up during Prime Day, which is 2 days. If you see something during Prime Day and you want to order it, if you're going to order it anyway, if you use my link, that supports Cereal at Midnight. So that would be awesome of you to do that. You can also subscribe to this channel. You can give me the thumbs ups, which helps this channel basically in the algorithm. The algorithm runs on engagement. So if you do subscribe, if you do the boop thumbs ups, and if you leave a comment, that's like the best thing you can do to support this channel via the algorithm. You can also become a member on either YouTube or through Patreon. 2 different ways to do it. There's benefits to doing that. Guys, thank you. I appreciate you. Take care. Till next time. I'll catch you later.